I am holding up a 1975 Topps baseball card featuring the 1974 most valuable players. Jeff Burroughs of the American League's Texas Rangers and Steve Garvey of the National League's Los Angeles Dodgers. And both of these guys had great seasons in 1974. Garvey led the Dodgers to the World Series. Of course, they ran up against a stone wall in the Oakland A's and lost that series in 5 games. I think it was 5 games. And Burroughs batted .301 that year, hit 25 home runs, had a great campaign for the Texas Rangers. And I think it was the first time a Ranger player had won the MVP award. But Burroughs played up until the mid 1980s. I know he played for the Braves for a little bit, and Garvey actually played with the Dodgers throughout the 1970s, and I believe he ended his career with the San Diego Padres in the mid 80s. So he spent his entire career in Southern California, and I think he ran for Congress or ran for the Senate a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So I have both of these cards. I've got the Steve Garvey card, and I'll stick it over here on this side. And that's a pretty decent card there. It's got a little crease in it, but it's a good action shot of Garvey. And I got this Jeff Burroughs card, 1974 Burroughs. And I can remember when I was 6 years old and looking at all, I had the whole MVP, all 24 or 25 of the cards that were on there from 51 to 74. And I remember thinking I'd like to have every one of those MVP cards. And since 1975, I've collected a number of them. And the Burroughs was the first one that I got. And it wasn't until a couple of years later, because you couldn't find cards, older cards, back in those days. You couldn't just go on eBay and order a 1974 Jeff Burroughs. You had to find somebody that would trade it or was selling it at a flea market or something like that. But Burroughs was the first of those MVP cards that I got. And I got the Garvey a few years after I got the Burroughs, I think. Probably in the early 80s, maybe. Must have been before 83, because I stopped collecting cards about 1983. So, 75 most valuable players, and 74 most valuable players, and we will see you next time.